to express themselves, and they are saying that they want a motion of censure on the Minister for Finance. We represent constituents. Constituents are expressing their own views about the current situation in the country. I will not pretend to say, to state that my constituents are happy with what is happening in the country. I mean, there is general angst in the system. What it is that must be done to lift us up is a matter of general concern. And that is what, as a nation, we should be looking at. Now, we are in the middle of discussions with the IMF to be able to lift ourselves up from this quagmire. That being the case, is this motion helpful at this time? The other issue is, after these discussions with the IMF, whatever happens, the conclusions will be factored into the budget. And the budget is going to come 15th of November. If, for instance, as people are saying that he should be removed, if he's removed and we have to bring somebody from outside, the president will have to make a nomination, and then it comes to Parliament, and when it comes to Parliament, referral will be made to the appointment committee 3 weeks, 1 month. We are on it, and nothing is being done.
But Honorable,
for the budget will be over by the statute.
But the reality,
my suggestion is that no, let's hold it, and maybe we get through these things. And if after the event we have to revisit the matter, why not? But for now, what's going to be the effect of this move on the IMF discussions and also the crafting of the budget? That's my worry.
Is it that the president met these number of members of parliament from your side? If you were in that meeting, what was the consensus?
The entire caucus.
Great. So what was the consensus?
Well, it was an appeal from the president, just like I've told you, that I've already engaged that group and spoken to them passionately about this. Well, they didn't agree with me. Together with the broader caucus, we went to see the president, and it was just a similar appeal that the president made. And we have decided to recline, to think through, and get back to the president.
Your members of parliament did indicate that these were concerns coming from their constituencies. If they, as the numbers as represented from yesterday, say that their constituents are indicating to them the finance minister should not preside over the next budget, what business will the finance minister have meeting and concluding agreements with the IMF when he will not be the one to execute that agreement?
Well, they spoke yesterday. It was a yesterday business, and in the evening we met the president. We decided to meet again today, so we want to see how it will end.
The consensus from what your members of parliament indicate is that the finance minister has been doing a bad job. He's been very poor at the job. What's your own assessment?
Well, it's the same finance minister who was in control 2017, 2018, 2019, and we were growing the economy. 2020, 2021, 2022, things are bad. In fact, 2021, we're even coming up of the COVID situation. And then enters the Ukraine war, and it sent us in a tailspin. So what must we do? Sometimes, yes, removing people engender confidence, re-engender confidence in the system. Is it the time for such a thing, for such a move? That's what we are thinking about.
Ideally, when we want to go by your time, which time by you is right to sack the finance minister?
Well, you see, these conversations started about 3 months back. If they were 3 months back matters and they have been escalated, maybe the president would have responded to the request. But we moved on a bit, and as I said, the finance minister is leading these discussions. Yesterday when we met him, the appeal was, can we go beyond these considerations, that's the IMF discussions and the budget. Once we finish, if we feel strongly about it, let's talk about it. That was the appeal from the president. And that has always been my position as well.
So my last line of summary questions. From what you are indicating, the president agrees that he will listen to the calls of those 80 plus MPs on your side of the house, but he wants the time to be pushed forward. So what time do you think, based on what the president is also estimating, are we going to complete all these discussions with the IMF, etc., and then the finance minister can go and a new person can be in place to manage the affairs of Ghana's finances?
First of all, let me emphasize that it's no longer the agenda of the 80 plus people that you're talking about, because we had a caucus meeting before we went to see the president, and the generality of the caucus were in alignment with the position of the 80 plus group. So I would say that it's representative of the entire majority caucus. So the president, he met all of us, not the 80. And as I said, all of them were in alignment, generally speaking, were in alignment with the agenda that started by the 80 plus people. So we'll take it from there.
So the timeline, you never answered the timeline. What time?